fan of Paupergeddon.
Not a Poison Storm player though. We've got big brains on Poison Storm side, but I think the players are sat down. I think they're almost ready to kick off. So if we can get down to that match, let's see if they are ready. If not, we can talk a little bit more about these decks. Looks like we're just going. I was watching I got obviously yesterday on stream when we were on stream. Gavin walks in and he goes, "Well, there's a Poison Storm player 6-0 out in the room right now." I was like. And I was obviously super excited about it. So once we finished our round 7, I went out and looked over their shoulder to I was out on the top tables trying to find this player. No playmat, no tokens, like barely any dice. I was like, this is my poison player. Let's go. And it was a bit of a non-game round 7. Like they're both just mulliganed into oblivion, and the ones that didn't mulligan most, it went well for them. But I'm so happy that this is now in 7-0. I've said it so many times. I've manifested it into this point. Now they just need maybe an X and 2 record will get you into top 8. If they can do that, man, I don't think you'll be able to shut me up. Like I'm going to be going deep on this. This is my favorite deck. I really do enjoy this more than any others I play, and I've played I've played a good variety of decks now in Pauper, but this is the one that's really took my fancy. I love the proliferate mechanic. Of course, people might not know what Poison Storm is. Talk to me about Poison Storm. Just the basis of it, because I'm going to be going deep on this when this game kicks off.
So basically, Poison Storm plays a lot of dual lands that enters the battlefield tapped with 2 counters and taps for 2 mana. And it's called poison because you give your opponent poison counters through all the new cards from the Phyrexian. Yeah. And also you play a lot of proliferate cards. So you can proliferate all your counters. You also play like a Prism and Chalice. So you ramp your mana through those lands and those artifacts, and then you sequence a lot of spell to kill your opponent. I think it's a quite interesting deck, also because we don't see much non-creature combo decks nowadays, and I'm happy this deck is on Pauper because it's another playstyle people can enjoy.
Right, we are off to the races. Looks like Goblin combos on the play. We're going to see a generous Ent cycle. We're going to go for basic forest and get that one into the grip. On the other side, well, this is the lands we're talking about. These are the Mercadian Mask block lands. They come into play tapped, have 2 counters on it, taps for 2 mana, but once it has no counters on it, you have to sacrifice the land. But that's all right. We're a proliferate deck. We'll just be adding more and more counters to it. So we're using these to our advantage of a ramp, and especially the later we get. We play all 3 colors. We play the black one, the blue one, and the green one, because we do have all these different colors. We need the black to be able to get poison counters. Green for things like, what's the lifetime one? Weather the Storm to try and get that, and some fog effects. And then realistically, blue is the core of our deck. We need that to really fire off some of these spells, but we can't fire off too many of our proliferate spells, because if we do, then we won't be able to get enough proliferate once we get that poison counter. So it's a really nice balance of when do you fire off your proliferates, when do you start digging, or when do you start firing them off. Once you've got that poison counter, it's free reign to do it. Even if your spells are getting countered, you're like, sure, it's done. I've got that poison counter now. That's my main task here. As we've seen Everflowing Chaz come down, one of the 2 artifacts in the deck that also proliferate is going to be really used to its advantage.
And
it looks like Wolves combo, not Goblin combo to me. Maybe we can get that changed a little bit. Yeah, it looks like they maybe the pairings didn't work how we thought it was, or maybe they registered their deck as Goblin combo. I don't know, but it looks like Wolves combo. So let's change this up. How do you think Poison Storm and Wolves combo line up? Do you think one's quicker than the other here?
Well, usually I think the Wolves combo can win even on turn 4 without any hate. So I think it should be faster. But I'm not sure. I think the Wolves combo deck plays a lot less manipulation because it really rewards on having those 3 mana draw 5 or 2 mana draw 4 in like lead stampede effects. So I'm very curious, to be honest.
Well, we're going to go into more deeper. We got a deep analyst. Obviously, printed MH3 is a nice little reprint for that. Picked up for this deck. There's Poison Storm at the bottom of your screens here. But still no poison counters and no proliferate cards being cast yet. And if Wolves does what it does, then potentially we might just be ending the game right now. It can, let's say, be extremely explosive. Losing my voice already. We're only in round 1. Well, actually, we're in round number 8, ladies and gentlemen, if you are tuning in. This is round 1 for today, but we gave you 7 rounds yesterday, 5 rounds of Swiss today before we cut to that top 8.
Like, possibly, the Wolves combo deck can even go off now if he finds fruit from the real.
That's what I mean. Like, it's so explosive when it wants to go off, and there's no real interaction. At least game one from the Poison Storm side, we're very much a deck that is we're doing our game plan, and that's it. Where finding all four must be nice. Must be nice.
Also, it's looking like he's probably playing also the Cascade creatures. We don't know how many. If it's a Wolves Cascade deck that plays the combo in the sideboard, or is an hybrid version. But it's probably a smart choice because I like to play the Cascader as a way to pressure your opponent.
Yeah, like playing boarding party the 6/3 with haste that does Cascade as well. And yeah, we're going to see it come down right now. So this is going to be the first Cascade. We're going to go hit another. Yeah. Go look at the top four. Can we get 4 for 4 again? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, draw 5.
Must
Easy.
be nice. 5 mana for a 6/3 haster that draws you 5 cards. Pauper is broken, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to get in there for 6 points of damage. That's fine. Our life total is like one of our resources in this matchup. We do have some sort of fog effects. We do have some sweepers that they tend to play in the mains depending on what. And we also have Weather the Storm. So our life total, we're not too worried about that. What I would more be worried about is my opponent comboing off and winning the game in one turn. That's where Poison Storm's really going to struggle, especially with the setup we've got right now. We don't have a great setup to be able to win next turn.
Yeah, I'm not sure now Borghetti plays the combo in the main. Because I think the most popular version of Wolves nowadays that we saw in the finals of the top Pauper player is playing the Cascaders in the main and the combo in the side. So I'm curious because this will turn the matchup completely in favor of Poison Storm.
It would. You're right. You're right. But we need a lot of setup over here on the Poison Storm side to even get into this. It looks like and this is not the line we want to do. Flashing this back, taking 3 more points of life to go 2 cards deeper. We can't really use our lands right now because they would end up having to sacrifice them. Maybe we kept a little bit of a dodgy keep here. Yeah, I think that's just said. Like, I can't beat what you've currently got on the board. All right, that's not a good showing. Can we? Let's get this up a little bit, Poison Storm. You're not doing good for me here. I've been bigging you up for 2 days and we get you in the feature match 7-0. I need to start winning, showing some cool stuff so people start picking this deck up. But sideboard cards. Is there any good sideboard cards that the Wall combo deck could be? Like, would they bring the combo in to be quicker? Do you think there's any disruption, any artifact hate? Because that is one angle of slowing down these Poison Storm decks.
Yeah, I think rather than slowing down your opponent, I tend to be faster. So I just bring in the combo.
Just bring... I don't even have a Walls deck list up in front of me right now. I've got a Goblins combo deck. Maybe they registered a Goblin combo to try and throw us off. Love it when players do that.
Wolves Cascade.
There we go. Let's have a little generic look. Wolves took down the first game super quick. Just had a lot better setup than the Poison Storm deck, unfortunately. Yeah, this looks like what it is, like the Cascade and the Adventure sort of stuff. It looks a lot like a Ponza list, but it's also got a combo element to it.
Yeah, I think this is actually as a good matchup versus Ponza because playing 04 and 03 makes your opponent creatures not great into attacking, and also you play Quirion Ranger, so the land destruction cards doesn't really work. It's smart. It's a smart choice, I think.
Well, you were telling me that this is like one of the best players, if not the best player in Italy currently that we're seeing right now. So,
yeah, we are amongst the best.
Yeah, amongst the best. It hurts you to say, doesn't it? You're like, it's amongst the best. It's one of the best, I think. Not the best, but not the best merc type player, though, are they in Italy? So it's fine. That's cool. We got that one for you. Poison Storm side. Let's have a little look at what potential sideboard cards. So that we don't really mess around with sideboard too much. It's normally just a bit more counter magic, some sweepers. Bring the ending. It's a mana leak effect. They have to pay 2 if they've got 3 poison counters. It's just straight up hard counter spell. We've got afflictions, which can exile type creatures. We've got some fame in the carbs, maybe. We've got the Shattered Arrows. Do you know what this card does?
Yeah.
Yeah, like really cool being able to put -1/-1 counters on creatures. Obviously, you can start proliferating, so the broken arrow, the Shattered Arrow is never actually going to go to the graveyard or be useless because it's got no counters on it. You're always going to be able to keep counters on it, which means you're always going to be able to put -1/-1 counters on creatures, which means you're always going to be able to proliferate those -1/-1 counters as well as yours. It's cool little bit of tech.
That's cool, yeah.
Even
if, I don't know, for 4 mana, You know, sometimes it's a bit like you have to ramp into it.
Well, yeah, we get loads of mana. It's fine. There's a lack of fog effects I'm seeing though. Like I do play. Remind me the green fog effect, the one that you can flash
Moments
back.
Peace.
Moments Peace. Like I played Moments Peace in my lists.
Yeah,
and
that seems part. So regarding this list, I think I would just cut the Weather the Storm versus the combo deck because I don't think they are good. I would just bring in some more removals and some more counter magic.
Yeah, I don't mind that. Like bringing maybe like 6 in, 6 cards. Maybe we cut on some of the Lotus Petals, etc. You know, just kind of slow ourselves down a little bit from that explosiveness. But hopefully things can go a little bit better here. You know, we didn't get to show our game plan game 1. Maybe we were missing some extra blue sources. There are a lot of double blue pipped cards in this deck. But over on the Wolves combo side, kind of doing what it needs to do. Really good metagame choice this weekend. You're not the first person to say that I've spoke to. A lot of players had to switch to this, of course, because of some of the new cards that have been printed MH3, which we'll be seeing a bunch of this weekend. Don't you worry. We've got the Familiar, we've got the Sneaker Snacker, we've got the Fraven's Charm, we've got the Lands going crazy, we've got the
Chrysalis.
Yeah, the Chrysalis is actually bonkers every time we've seen it. But then we saw Pawns are kind of falling down the game went yesterday, or the rounds went yesterday, kind of falling down the standings. Like Pawns, you definitely need to get your early acceleration into your big threats. If you just draw your early acceleration and no threats, you're going to get rolled over. If you draw all your big threats and no way to ramp into them, again, you get rolled over. So maybe the variants come into play at some point the later the game goes. But there is one undefeated Pawns player, I believe.
Yes, and a couple of 6-1s also. Yeah, I think like the thing is, in Pauper you have some decks that seems brainless, like Ponza or like Affinity sometimes. But if you are a master of the format and of the deck, of course you will shine. Otherwise, sometimes it's tough to keep going with all the new cards. In fact, I believe that we have Zio Francone on 7-0 playing Affinity. We have Giorgio Combo on 7-0 playing Ponza, that are two of the most representative player of the format. Like we see, both have some top 8s, someone won a Geddon even. So I think they are masters and they are doing good with the broken decks.
Well, that just happens in every format, where you're always going to be, like, if I was playing this tournament, I'm literally going into it semi-blind. Yeah, I've played for like a month at this point and played a lot of decks, and I know what I like and what I don't like, but I'm still learning here in the booth with all you beautiful experts that are carrying me through this. I'm able to ask the questions that I think a lot of people looking at this format don't know, because I also don't know them. So I'm coming at it from the the viewer's point of view. Obviously, we're going to have a load of modern Pauper experts floating around in the chat and also in the room, but just being able to ask those questions as we're off to the races with our Poison Storm versus Wolves combo. And now we've got the blue source, so that's good. That's a better one, because even now, if we just need to go one card deeper, we proliferate this one turn, we've still got 2 counters on for the next one. And we're going to go down to 2. Everflowing Chalice is where we're going to go. Everflowing Chalice for 1 to go land cycling with our Lorien's Revealed. Great card from the Lord of the Rings set.
Yeah, I think in this deck is actually like you tend to cast it a lot.
Oh yeah, a lot of the time you're just trying to dig for your deck, and we've actually got like 8 of these in the deck. We've got 4 Lorien's Revealed, and we've got 4 of the one that proliferates. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. Let me have a little look. It is, oh my word, I can't pronounce that. The Insight. Vigorous Insight, I think it is. Vigorous Insight, yeah.
Vivisurgeon, maybe?
Visurgent Insight?
Yeah.
It does look like it's a surgeon doing something to someone on that art.
Doing surgery.
yeah, a surgeon doing surgery. We'll take that. I was going to go a bit deeper than that, but I'm not going to. All right, on the other side, just a wall and pass. Now we've got access to 4 mana for the turn, plus a land drop if needs be. Do need to start proliferating though, or we're going to start losing one of these lands.
Like a funny thing is, we call this deck Walls combo, but it only play 4 walls actually, because the other creature with defenders aren't walls. In fact, like we discovered there is a card that destroys all walls, and we pretend we wanted to play that, but actually you destroy like just 4 creatures into the whole deck, because the other creatures are humans. This is a Dryad, I think, in play. So it's
not ideal, not what you want.
Yeah, it should be defender combo, I think.
Okay, we've got an Augury on the stack, so we get to look at the top 3, pick 1 into our hand, and then proliferate. So that means the Everflowing Chalice is now going to go up on 1. Our land's going to go up another. So now we can start using that. Still no poison counters yet. So as I said, it's a fine line on balancing on how many times you want to use your proliferate cards to dig through your deck, because you kind of need that poison counter on the stack on your opponent, and then you start firing these off willy-nilly, going through your deck and trying to win the game ASAP. But we're just going to pass the turn back. No third land drop. That's okay. It's fine. We don't have to worry about that right now. We'd love something like a prism to come down on 2 counters. Once you've got 2 of those, you can basically just semi-go infinite with all your 2-mana proliferate spells.
Also, it's scary when the combo deck stops playing lengths, because it means that you have 7 spells in hand.
It might be a counter spell in hand right now. You know, we could just be holding up something to counter this. Yep, there it is. Straight off the top.
Nice.
And this is just a mana leak effect. There's no poison counter, so it's just you need to pay 2. You don't have it. Great. Well, I'm going to untap. Still looking for more proliferates, but now we've got 3 mana to our disposal before we have to use one of our lands. Let's have a little look where we're going to go. I wish we could see the hands a little bit more. That's the one thing that's like, we're very much guessing. So in this instance, well, we're going to find out. 3 mana, 1 colorless left floating. All right, there's the poison counter. Sweet. So that's going to be go 1 card deeper, generate, give 1 poison counter to our opponent. So now this is where the power of proliferate comes in, because it's all counters. It can be -1/-1 counters, it can be -1/-0 counters or whatever. I think they're calling a judge for some reason. Not entirely sure why, but we'll try and get confirmation of why that is for all you beautiful people at home.
But I really like the new overlay. When someone calls a judge, just put the giant judge.
Upside down. Classically upside down. So yeah, we're going to need to flip that over. Or maybe they're just playing a card called Judge. You know what I mean? Maybe that's their name. They like to go by calling Judge.
Yeah, but like it seems like they are screaming, you know. Like I can hear the word judge.
I'm trying to think like what have we missed? What's going on? Like we played a land drop, we played a spell got countered. We've now untapped.
Okay.
Poison Storm, yeah. I don't know where we're going with that one, but more importantly, there's a poison count on our opponent now. We've managed to find a 3rd land drop. It's another blue one. It's not great for if we've got any prisms in our hand. Phantom Prisms, of course, is the card I'm talking about. We need 2 different sorts of mana for that to really be able to get that popping off. But in this one, that's fine. We got 1 poison counter on the stat on our opponent. So when we start doing our game plan, well, we're going to start running away with it. Is this the Ranger coming down that I see there?
Yep.
Is that like an alternate art one? I'm sure I've seen it once before. But then when my opponent starts getting dice out, that's when this gets scary. Okay, we're going to put a dice on the Ranger just to show that we've already used it to untap. So it's going to return that land, replay that land. Nice little interaction. 2 mana.
Overgrown Battlelands.
Added some more walls. Another 2 mana.
Winding Wave.
And then we're going to go looking at our... This top 5 pit all creatures
top
in
four.
Top 4? And
You
you
decide creature or lands, and you pick all the creature or the lands.
Feels pretty good.
Yeah.
Feels pretty good. Even a 2 mana to just get 2 more cards into our hand. One of them being a Ranger, one of them being a Generous. And I think this Wolves deck's fully foiled, by the way.
Yeah.
I always think it's really scary when you play against someone who's got a fully foiled deck, because you're like, oh, they've invested time in this and money, so that they know what they're doing. But just to pass the turn back, it's not out of the realms that you could just die this turn, but it's with the current board setup, it might be a little bit hard. But let's find out. So that's 5 mana.
Ooh, okay.
Here we go. Well, yeah, this means it's a setup turn, right? We won't be able to win on this turn, but we've got a lot of proliferate happening. It means next turn we're going to be able to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 plus mana next turn, and we get to draw 3 more cards. And we're not even finished yet. We've still got 2 blue mana left for the turn and a land drop. If we could go something like Forest into activate, getting a prism on the battlefield or multiple prisms, it would be pretty sick to see.
Yeah, I'm curious what is going to happen, because it looks like the game is really open at this point. Both players had set up their pieces, and both are missing something to close the game. But I really like those type of combo mirrors where you have to try to be faster than your opponent. But also, since the Poison Storm also plays counterspell, there is this tension between developing and denying your opponent to develop. Okay, looks like the land drop and pass the turn. Time for a Wolf's combo to do something, I guess.
That's what I'm about to say. I'm having a look at the list here and just seeing like if what's the combo in the main, and it looks like it's the Invoker. If we generate a bunch of mana and just Invoker for infinite, is what I'm looking at.
I don't think there is a combo in the main. There is just.
Why is this in the main?
I think it's a good card because you generate 8 mana a lot, so it's just 1 or 2 bolts per turn.
No, it's got feed from the real, right?
Is that in the sideboard, right?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. The sideboard's not really laid out well here. So
Yeah,
I'm not entirely sure. But
yeah,
like,
I think you sideboard 10 cards and switch completely to the combo when the matchup is not interactive.
what's this one that I'm seeing? This looks like on an adventure. Exile target artifact enchantment for 3 mana. Goes on a little adventure. Guardian of Naga. So
Yeah, we see that on the battlefield now. It's good because, of course, you can take it by the Stampede and Winding Way. So it's because it's a creature.
mm-hmm.
And it's also a disenchant. So I like all those cards from I think it was what expansion was this? I forgot.
Alchemy Horizons Boulder Gate. I've got here.
Yeah, Commander Legends. Yeah.
It's a commander card. Yeah, but I say I've seen a lot of the adventure cards. That's one I haven't seen yet, but cool to see it in this deck.
Yeah, there is also a red dragon that deals 1 damage to each creature.
Yeah, like commander cards is where I fall short. Like I don't know the commander cards. That is not my format of choice. But it looks like we're going to go with the hunter here. Vengeance Hunter is going to come down. We're going to go have the initiative and go into the dungeon so we can go find ourselves a basic. And against these Poison Storm decks, you are going to have the initiative every single turn. We don't have creatures. We cannot take that back.
That's scary for Poison because I think the initiative closed the game by itself in 4 turns because it's 7, 13, and little.
Fang Dragon, chat's telling me.
Fang Dragon, thank you, chat.
So Forest is going to go to the hand. Imagine that's going to be the land for the turn. Going to get in there with a bunch of damage. And this is where it's like, did we board out these Weather Storms? Are they still in the deck? Maybe they're stuck in our hand right now because we've got no green mana. But we do have access to 6 this turn, which is more than enough to be able to fire off a bunch of proliferates. We're missing black mana, missing green mana. That is going to turn off a nice bunch of spells in our deck as well. So here we go. This is a great one to try and find that. We can look at the top
Impulse
3.
that proliferates also.
And already at 4 poison. Because remember, every one of these we're kind of doing our game plan. I'm just looking through my deck. I'm looking for ways to accelerate. I'm looking for ways to gain life. I'm looking for ways to get my land drops. Every time I'm doing this, I'm also gaining 1 extra poison counter every time for every spell. Didn't get a good look at what was found there though.
Yeah, I think also like the initiative cards, like I personally would board into the combo if I was in the worst combo side, because being able to win the game on spot is better.
Yeah, it's huge.
Rather than putting a clock that requires 2 or 3 turns to kill your opponent, because this Poison Storm looks super scary. Like I played that magical line a bit, and it's actually consistent at doing what it needs to do.
Look, if I can 5 over it, and you know, what I mean, it's got to be a good, powerful deck, and I think it was just really well placed at the minute. With a lot of Ponza floating around, maybe not so much because we do, our lands do come into play tapped, and we do rely on them quite a lot. And if they're able to just pick off some of these, it's pretty bad for us. Our next land though is another island that might not be. I feel like we're stuck with a load of green and black cards in hand and unable to cast them.
Might be.
Or we could be holding up some sort of counter magic here, because there is now over 3 poison counters. So corrupt has happened, is enabled, shall we say?
Yeah, I think, but the removal was a bit expected. In fact, Borghetti decided to put 2 counters on the Quirion rather than the initiative. It's a smart choice, I think.
Oh yeah, we want to get that damage in. Especially as we've got a bunch of cards in our hand. We've also got a card in an adventure that we can get down if we ever start, running low on gas. But looking at this Wolves deck, it looks like it never runs short on gas. It's always having ways of turning through its deck, looking at the top 4, look at the top 5, pit X amount of creatures in our hand, start casting them, and rinse and repeat. And then while you're going through the initiative, you're going to be gaining all this extra value because like next turn it could just be 5 more damage to the face, and that might be enough. I don't think the life total is correct though, right? I'm pretty sure it's
No,
not.
I think it's probably right because Borghetti just attacked with the Quirion.
Is that the only one that's tacked?
No, just a Quirion the previous turn.
Or maybe it's this turn that's going to get changed up a little bit more. Just going to have a little look, get the exact poison list on my screen. Yep, they're going a little bit deep. Is that 3 cards we hit there? 2 generous cents?
Yeah, and the secret door means they probably switch it to the combo because this is how you win. The funny thing is the secret door is not really a win con on Magic Online because to complete the dungeon you have to do like 12 clicks and you need to do that 20 times. So it's 20 per 12.
Yeah, that's I get you. Yeah, it's rough going through it multiple times. Yeah, you've got to click a lot. Well, look, it pays to be good at Magic Online. It's not just but you have to be good at Magic. You've also got to be good at the client itself. It's this game in its own. It's got its own chess clock. We're here as we go under the 25th minute of the round. Of course, this is round number 8 for anybody that's joining us. We've got 5 rounds of Swiss today before we bring you that top 8, and we crown ourselves a champion of Paupergeddon 2024. Everybody's playing for their share of 20,000 euros this weekend.
I like the ability of Wolves Combo to be able to pressure them by coming off, but also on the board. Yeah, they set out 2 turn clock basically now.
That's how you beat Poison Storm. Is you need to apply pressure while also a little bit of disruption going through, or the ability that you could just win on the spot for a combo. So they've now got to think maybe we've got to hold up some counter magic in case you go for a key combo piece, and then I have to untap. Or okay, I've got to leave some of my mana open for it. I do think we're missing a source of mana here, and if we can draw maybe like the basic forest or a prism, potentially even a prism just firing off for 1 counter on it, then a proliferate to get the second counter, and then maybe we'll be off to the races that way.
Yeah, I think for sure. Like if the Poison Storm player has like a poison enabler again in the end step, giving 4 more poison to the opponent is a completely fine thing.
Right, here's 9 damage coming across. So that's going to drop us down to 10. So we would be dead next turn if the initiative goes down the trap route. There's 5 damage to face, and we do get that combat step. So definitely pressure is on here for our Poison Storm player. At the bottom of our screen.
Yeah.
End of turn, we're going to proliferate 1 more time, go another card deeper. So that's up to 6 infect. I was going to say toxic. Different formats toxic. I guess you could probably have a toxic deck in Pauper. It might not be great, but the cards would be legal, some of them. But it's just a handshake. I'd be really interested to see what's in their hand. I'm guessing, I see a lot of black cards in there, and it's just not going to be enough to be able to fog this 1 turn. Okay, I'm going to eat my words a little bit there, but I'm upset. We're still in the game. 7-1, still a great record.
Yeah,
you know
course,
what I mean? You're 3 wins away potentially from locking into that top 8, and you just lost to one of the best players in the room, if not the best player in the room, on a super scary deck, and they know how to pilot it extremely well. So, congratulations to that. Wolves combo now going to be one of our undefeated. We've got 3 other undefeateds in the room, and of course they're battling out. One of them did get paired down. I believe that was Gavin Verhey, who is in the room, is one of our undefeated players on his Mardu synthesizer build that he built probably 20 hours before the event started
with me
in the hotel room. He was telling me how he beat it. He went, well, I just put this deck on the table, and I put this deck on the table, and then I just went and like kind of mushed them together, and I took the best cards out of that, and it seems to be working for him. He is a very, very powerful mage. Very surprised me a lot when I saw him. They're going to see if we can get a backup feature match for you all, because of course there's 25 minutes left of the round. If we can get you that backup feature match, we will obviously we'll be bringing you that and telling you what decks they're going to be. Hopefully we can try and get like some undefeateds or maybe some X and ones in with some spicy decks. There's still quite a few spicy decks floating around in the room. Do we have the metagame production? Let's have a little look. I'm getting told something in my ears. though. So, but sorry, champ. I'm getting told in my ears some stuff. Keep going. We need. All right, I'm gonna get it so we can get it on screen for you. Or let me just. I've got to get. I'm sure we will be able to. Not right now, but later on we will, because like that doesn't make sense what you just told me, production. So I'm gonna sort it out. Don't worry, I've got it. Don't you worry, it's all good. 2 seconds, chat.
So we're figuring out a feature match backup table, and we are trying to give you the meta game. But I think well, as you may know, I brought brute scale combo on Friday, and the deck seems actually very, very good. A lot of players played that, and the conversion rate was one of the best. So I'm willing to see how the deck does in the rest of the tournament. Like my prediction for the tournament, like we did this little chit chat on day one of the Geddon, and one of my prediction was the deck would win the Geddon. So I'm curious if.
What do you reckon is going to win today?
I think brute scale combo.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got a lot of faith in that deck.
Yeah.
I think after seeing how everything's going to shift, like sorting itself out this weekend, I think Wolves might do it. Mm-hmm. Especially seeing it there, but knowing that it's like got a good matchup versus Ponza. There's a lot of that floating around in the room. It's got a lot of like defense, so to speak, against some of the synthesizer decks that can go like almost go over and got a little bit of reach. But these Wolves decks have got quite a good sideboard plan for them. I could just see. I think I could see Wolves taking it down. I think that obviously Poison Storm is going to take it down, but if it's not Poison Storm, I think Wolves is quite a good shout to be able to kind of cross the line. It's a tried, trusted deck. I think it's a very good metagame deck for this weekend.
Yeah, also the funny thing is the Pauper format changes so fast. So if this week we see the uprise of combo decks, for the next week I expect a lot of removals deck. I think Gavin was very smart to play the deck you mentioned.
Because Mardu synthesizer.
Yeah, because you play a quick lock, you play a lot of removals, but you also play indestructible lands. So you kind of have everything figured out. I'm not sure if it's just he wanted to play the deck because it's a very beautiful deck, or it was something very, very calculated. But
it's very much like the Boros synthesizer deck that everyone kind of knows at this point. But we added the black splash for the familiar and. The other black cards, is it maybe some removal he's got in the board?
Yeah,
maybe
or maybe
Typhon
Blood
Blade,
Fountain, I'm not sure.
Something like that. It's only a small splash of black in it to kind of make it the Mardu colors, but it's doing a great effect because, of course, if you keep bouncing back that familiar and keep recasting it, just the value train does not stop in an ATB's discard or draw card. It's going to be pretty good. Looks like we do have a backup feature match that they're going to be moving across to. So once that's ready to go, we'll make sure we'll be bringing you that. Looks like we can we show the meta game? I'm getting the nod that we can. It's cool. Don't worry, chat. I've got you. I'm fighting for it. We can talk through what 656 players turned up yesterday. We've converted that into 143 today. So we'll kind of have a little look at from yesterday's meta to today's meta, what has turned up, what did well, what did bad. I think Affinity had the worst conversion rate, if I remember correctly. Like, that didn't look like it went well. But then I also think that makes sense because it's a very easy deck to hate out. Like Artifacts is going to be so much in that. Basically, every color, every deck is going to have some sort of hate towards Artifacts. And if you come prepared, because realistically, if I was going to this event, I think Affinity would be one of the top decks I would be anticipating, especially with the printing of Familiar, which in itself has got Affinity and is an artifact. People are going to try and play that card a lot. Okay, I'm going to bring up maybe like 6 sideboard slots for that matchup. All right, cool. I've been told we can get the meta on screen, so let's get it on screen for everybody to have a little look at. So this is the day 2 meta. Most played deck in day 2, Ponza.
Yeah.
Any surprises there?
Well, actually,
would you have said that on Friday?
Maybe not. I think the deck is probably the best because it's really tough to wait it out because they got a nice
upgrade.
Yes.
In the Chrysalis?
Yes. In general, like the game plan is very strong on the early turns because you either ramp or you destroy your opponent lands. Then you have this mid game of Chrysalis, and then you have the late game of Big Boom Booms. So,
Big boom booms is
Yeah.
the official term for it. Right, I mean, told me that the players are sat down and they're ready to go.
Sure.
So it looks like we've got Mono Red versus Jeskai and Ephemery, and we started with a turn 1 Goblin Guide that does not let my opponent reveal a top card and draw a card.
Yeah,
This card, that's like, is that the best opening you can get from Mono Red?
I think so.
Yeah, I also think so. Yesterday it was really good to see in the hall yesterday. I think they're just going to sort the playmats out. So in the hall, we've actually got 2 projectors, ladies and gentlemen, and it's projecting this game that you see now to all the players in the room as well. It's at kind of one end, so not everybody can see it. You've got to really move to have a little look. But everybody was cheering with the Mono Red player was about to like get into day 2. They just went like turn 1 Goblin Guide, turn 2 Goblin Guide, turn 3 Goblin Guide with Bushwhacker, turn 4 Smash to Smithereens. And everyone's like, oh yeah! Like, it was like being at a football match. It was great. We're going to see this Galvanic is going to take it out. 2 energy is going to be spent to do this. So no creature sacrifice and nothing with haste and no more damage. That stems the bleeding a little bit here. One thing I haven't mentioned, I keep forgetting to mention this all weekend long. Next door in the main hall, they're playing Lord of the Rings music in the background.
Yeah.
It's immense. It's great when you're just walking around and all of a sudden it's like, I know that song. That's when Aragorn did this or that did that from the films.
Yeah.
It's really, really cool to see.
Also, this location is similar to Lord of the Rings landscape. Yeah, we have
with
these
all
clouds,
the mountains around.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like the Misty Mountains this morning coming into this venue, ladies and gentlemen. But we've got synthesizers, ETB, that is revealed at the top card. So that means we can now generate some free goblins. Which one is this one? It's not generously, is it? It's the... What is this goblin one?
It's I forgot the name. It's basically when you sacrifice a permanent, it gains +2/+0 and menace.
Oh, is that the one?
Yes.
Oh no, I thought it was this one. The one that you destroy it and it
Kuldotary
makes
Bird.
free goblin. Sorry, then?
Kuldotary Bird.
Rebirth, that's the one.
So basically, you can only target your permanents, and sacrifice is a cost.
Yeah.
These are the difference with the one in standard.
I like the one in standard.
Yeah,
because I can target my opponent's stuff. Okay, another Galvantic. It's going to take that out. So a little bit more energy generated, and this is like one of the good things about playing these cards in this deck, like being the energy synergy, so to speak, is it's not a lightning bolt which is going to have some access damage that could go over the top. You know, if that creature's got 2 toughness, lightning bolt sure it would kill it, but by an extra point. If we start using these, it's going to generate us extra value by giving us some extra energy, which we can utilize to our effect later on in the game to potentially maybe take down a bigger threat if needs be, or utilize it for drawing cards or whatever we put into our deck. But at the minute, missing white mana.
Yeah, also like if you remember the previous iteration of Jeskai Ephemerate, it used to play Scred, and you can Scred a Goblin Guide on turn 1. So I think this Galvanic Discharge is already a big upgrade for the deck.
Another MH3 card. Yep. Hitting up work. Who would have thought? Right, I'm just getting...
So it looks like Chain Lightning was a pickup into attack for 4.
And these red decks, they've just got so much. You've got Lightning Bolts, Chain Lightnings, Goblin Guide, Ways to Go Wide, Bushwhacker, Goblin Grenades you see sometimes. What's the sacrifice 2 mountains for damage 1?
Fire Blast.
Blast. Like it does so much damage so quickly and so consistently, where a lot of decks in the format right now are trying to utilize free mana, which means that they're going to be slightly slower because all loads of other lands come into play tapped, which means you can really start piling on that damage. Like the Goblin Guy doing 4 damage, we know how good that is. If you connect once with it, you feel great. You connect twice, you're like, oh my word, this is running away with the game for me.
Yeah, also like if you expect combo to be popular, Mono Red usually has a good matchup versus them because you can hold your lightning bolts and removals to just kill your opponent creatures while you are also attacking. So you can basically turn it into a weird tempo deck. I really like this ability of Mono Red. And it looks like the Mono Red hand is full of removals. He has 2 lightning bolts, a mountain, and a pyroblast. So
it's a 10 damage in hand while my opponent's at 10, and I've already got 4 damage on the battlefield.
Yeah, just if he connects to 1 more, I think the game is over.
Yeah, that's what they want, right? It is the bugbear of the format. You can't turn up not thinking you're going to play against some of these aggressive synergies. Either it's going to be Mono Red or the Madness deck, and the fact that they're tapping out here is I'm going to counter that with my Pyroblast. Not double lightning bolt in any turn though. So maybe it's not lightning bolt. Maybe it's double pyroblast we got in hand. Synthesizer. Top card. Chain Lightning. 1, 2, 3, 4 damage coming across. Drop you to 6 life. Chain Lightning you. Drop you down to 3 life. Lightning Bolt you down to 0 life. GG's.
And
We're going to
that's
take this
it.
down. Mono red.